Foertsch at the Point in Cherry Grove, South Carolina. I wanted to go live and have you consider, well, all of us, how accurate is our situational awareness? How aware are we of what's actually going on, and what can we do about it? Well, I'm doing it. I'm making this information known. It's very unpopular to the majority, and yet there are some people that are really grateful that I do this. So that's my contact information. You can call that number or send me a link anytime. I even find encouragement from the haters. Some of them are just a little bit too much maintenance to have a chatting back and forth relationship. I don't do that much. I do like the fact that I can send a link and have people consider the deep learning artificial intelligence research library that I've compiled. And people can argue with the experts if they want. They can even try and argue with me for a little bit if they want. I've just got other things to do. So I'm not interested in having a debate or an argument. People largely believe what they want. So it's actually not my ability or responsibility to change people's minds. There's a bald eagle flying around over there. If he comes over this way, I'll be able to zoom in on him better. Let's see if I can zoom in on him enough that you can see him from here. Now he's down into the trees, so it's hard to see him. So the truth is really unpopular to the masses. They may give lip service to loving the truth and loving Jesus and spreading Jesus all over whatever they do. They may be spiritually deader than a hammer like I was. And then, Shazam! I was born of the Spirit in 2014, even though I thought I had been in 1982. There was a long delay there. So I found out that it's possible to praise Jesus and get baptized in multiple receptacles and in a variety of locations and still be deader than a hammer and not even knowing it. That was me. I wanted to know if I was truly born again, why was I struggling so much with the flesh? And what I found out is that's all I had. There are people that don't like that. I believe the Almighty determines who His children are before the foundation of the world, when our names were put in the Lamb's Book of Life. You may know the Creator as Jesus, Yeshua, the Almighty, the Alpha and Omega, knowing the end from the beginning. He's referred to by a lot of names. And then the adversary has a lot of names and representatives as well. So in this epic battle between good and evil, trying to help people consider there's a lot of deception in the mix. That's part of how this works. That's the main part of how this works. Truth and deception are primary weapons. And I can't get very specific about any of it because on this live stream, it's originally a live Facebook stream that I will download and then upload to other platforms if the technical presentation is good enough, like the overall sound and in that. So the sun will appear here apparently in about 10 minutes. I think I'm probably not going to go that long. Wow, sure is pretty though. I think what I'm gonna work on. Whoops. Hopefully that didn't cut the sound or cut the mic out. I bumped it. I've got a piece of tissue here. I want to wipe my lens a little bit. I think that's a little bit better. Good deal. So I'm going to run with that. The color gradients change with the timing and the proximity of the sun to the horizon and going through different layers of atmosphere. There's moisture, humidity, and technology. We live in a very, how would I say, scripted reality. Right now, I'm bare feet on the sand out here, and this is a base reality that I'm sharing with these people here, and then there's a digital version of me and you and others in the cloud, in the servers that they're building with all the energy that are being used for the data centers. So I'm there as well, and I'm exposing the truth about all this. It's a lifetime of research, of more than my own research. It's a lifetime of many people's research. And some of these people have been silenced permanently, physically in this realm, and yet there's a digital presence of them. You can see them in my library if you like to. So with all the talk about the energy crisis that we have, Stanley Meyer addressed that in the 70s and actually found a way to molecularly disassociate water to its constituent parts of oxygen and hydrogen and run a motor on it. He also had an energy ring that would power a house. That technology is all very real and highly censored, and that's how they roll. They hide the truth about these things from the majority of humanity. So a lot of times the haters want to kill the messenger in their own mind. What they do is I've been told I'm crazy by people I know are deceived, so I consider the source. When people are deceived and they're hating on me, I'm totally fine with that. And so what I make available is my phone number and name, which crosses over multiple platforms that you could contact me through. My Linktree also has my Gmail address. You can reach out anytime you like there. And so the chatting with texts is very easy to be misunderstood, or at least that's what I've found out. It's hard to get an accurate interaction in real time. Same thing with the comment thread. So I've had different people that are hating on me that will put me in a group chat, and I don't know who any of these people are. I've had people walk up on me right out here when I'm doing a live stream because they knew where I was. I'm not hiding. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to live, die, or tell the truth. How about that? That makes me a threat to the deception. I'm exposing it all. So if you think I missed something or got it wrong, you could send me a link anytime, literally, or you could call anytime. That's fine with me. I run a varied schedule where I get an adequate amount of sleep whenever I jolly well feel like it. I don't have insomnia. One of the videos that is being talked about in my library on the Diary of a CEO, it's a medical professional said he can't stay silent about this anymore. There are things that affect our health and well-being that are very challenging to measure, and one of the topics would be when somebody loses purpose or a reason to live, it becomes very, very difficult for them to carry on. That's one of the dilemmas that happens when people get older and retire, and they just lose a purpose for living, their mission in life. Well, I will never outlive my mission in life. I'm here to expose the truth, and I believe the ultimate truth is to understand who the actual creator of this realm is, and then be actually born of the Spirit, not hoping you are. It needs to happen, or my understanding is you'll wish it did. So I do believe in the doctrine of election. That means that the Almighty put our names of His family in the Lamb's Book of Life before the foundation of the world, well before any of us made a bunch of mistakes and potentially asked for help. I'm going to want to zoom in pretty tight on that, see how that looks. So I'm going to leverage all of the technology that I can to do this, and everything that the system has to offer to do this. So if you would like to use, so I'm going to, in the backdrop of this statement, I'm going to have you consider some things. Quite often in the truth community, it's said, do your own research. However, the challenge there is that the artificial intelligence algorithms present the truth to some and hide it from others, and different aspects of it. So I can see the sun clear right now through the clouds there, right in the middle of the view. How pretty is that? So if you'd like to use not only my YouTube playlist, because my research library is much more comprehensive than a YouTube channel, one of the thoughts you may want to consider is looking at the playlists that I've compiled on different platforms too. This is a collaborative effort. We're working together to expose this truth, a very unpopular truth. So you might think somebody in my library is controlled opposition, a shill, or an outright liar, and well, they're there. And the truth tellers are there. And what I found out in all of this is that there's a kaleidoscope of conspiracy theories to hide the actual conspirators and how they accomplish what they do, how they're doing it. Truth and deceptions are primary weapons, and they'll use the music and the money and the promise of property, prestige, physical pleasures of all kinds. That's all part of the deal. So how accurate, when you look in the mirror, what I would want you to consider, and I ask this too, how accurate is my situational awareness? Is there something I'm missing? Do I have something incredibly wrong that matters? If that were the case, I would want to know. So that is one of the reasons why I invite people to give me feedback. You could also put it in a comment. It's harder to find the comments because I'm on a lot of different platforms. And then the other thing is, on an email, I've got over 500,000 emails in my inbox. I've read a lot of them, but not all of them. So a phone call or a text to my phone number is an easy way to circumvent that and put it right in front of me. From time to time, I block people and then I will unblock them sometimes and give them a call and say, hey, you're going to need to calm down a bit and provide any proof you want. However, I'm not obligated to chat back and forth, texting and all of that, and try and answer a very convoluted text with another text. A lot of times we'll send a video. But some people are fishing for a video that they want to pull out of context and make me look like one of the bad guys. Oh, wow. And you know what? Sometimes the haters just have an addiction to either a chemical or their own self-effort, and they don't like me. That's okay. They don't need to like me. Look at what happened to Jesus for exposing the truth. Like I said, you may view him as Yeshua, Yahweh, the living word, the living water, the way, the truth, the life, all of that. I'm not afraid of presenting the reality of the need to be born of the Spirit. Why in the world would I do this if there wasn't a greater purpose to all this? Well, that's why I do this. I want people to make an informed choice on eternity. Where will you spend forever and why? That's a really big thing to figure out. And I believe it's only by divine intervention that people can get this. So the Holy Spirit enables the need to be born again, and then the assurance that it's actually occurred. One of the most dangerous places to be is to have a false assurance where people believe they're right with Jesus. They may never be. Even if they're using the name Yahuwah or Yeshua. We already had the Great Tribulation in 70 AD when the temple was destroyed. I've got plenty of evidence of that in my library for your consideration. So audience relevance is very important when evaluating what the Scripture says. What does the Bible say? What does Jesus say about his return? He said that there were some standing here that would see him return. The Olivet Discourse. You can look at it in Matthew 24, Luke 21, Mark 13, where Jesus said he was going to return before this generation that he was talking to would pass away. So, now you may not like that. Keep in mind that we've got the rapture, so-called, the Darby-Schofield collaboration with the Rothschilds to give people this dispensational futurist view of the end of time, the apocalypse. And I've got people that are promoting that in my library as well. They may have other very accurate perceptions of what's going on, and they may have missed this particular aspect of it. And then there's all kinds of free willies. They just believe that a person can slip their hand up and shazam, they're born of the Spirit. Maybe not, maybe never. Mine was quite a delay from 82 to 2014. That's a long delay. So there you go. I've made my information available for your consideration. And there should be a link tree on all the platforms that I'm on, will be on, was on. You can click around. I've got a couple of X accounts. My original X account was restored. You can scroll through my followers. I did have some of the architects of artificial intelligence following me for a very important reason. We're like receivers of information. We can do it wirelessly with our phone. However, there's synthetic or actual telepathy where, like, I was thinking I wanted to see Brian again. He lives over there, but he's not there very often. And I was thinking about him, and shazam, he was there the next day. out on the beach, and I hadn't seen them for a decade. So how does that all work out? Works out great. So rather than having a ChatGPT give you advice on what you should do with your life, how about the Almighty? How about the Creator that created us in this realm we live in? The elect and fallen angels? How about that? He knows the future and controls the future. And he allows Satan to have quite a reign in this realm right now. So there you go. I found this out here today. It's a high performance aluminum for like a fishing pole holder. I might put it to good use, but I thought, I'll just get that. It would cost probably $5 at Home Depot or something like that. We don't know what we don't know. Going through this life is a challenge. It's painful and yet rewarding all at the same time. I'm looking at the eagle right there in the trees. I'm going to see if I can zoom in on them to where you can see them. Okay. Right in the middle of the view is where the eagle is. Oh, there you go. Well, I hope things go well for you. Feel free to reach out whenever you like. This is Robert Foertsch, exposing the truth I'm finding out about everything that I'm finding out about that matters. So there you go. Thank you so much.